Hello, it's Cynthia coming to you again on Chapter 6 about applied psychology. And I wanted to focus on two people. There was a wealth of information, how the science of psychology was finally starting to be applied to our lives, and it was fascinating. But two creators in particular, the ones that started the mental testing, those are the ones that I want to focus on because they created a certain atmosphere at the time that they started that in America. And it was interesting how Henry Goddard, he set the stage for Terment. But Gardner was a genetic psychologist, and he believed that intelligence was innate. And his studies at the then Vineland training school for the feeble-minded attested to his belief that it was innate, especially his study that he did on the Caliat girl. And it was amazing to me how he went back generations, and that was a huge scale of testing. So it reminded me of the genetic companies today that are reputable, like 23andMe, and how they can find out the foundations of who you are. So he laid the foundations of how the IQ was going to be labeled, but William Stearns, he suggested how it would be measured by mental quotient or intelligent quotient. So that's how you get your IQ rating from, I think the general population is between 95 and 110, and if you're over 140, you're considered a genius. Okay, uh, at this was very interesting to me because I thought about Terman, how he wanted us to have a society that was metric metrocratic, or I can't even say it, but it's on merits, and I didn't like that idea because it kind of sounded like he was trying to set up some kind of elitist society. And I was really influenced by the columnist Limperman because he said that it was really wrong to label somebody based on a 50-minute segment of their lives. You know, this label would follow them throughout their lives. So personally, I know some days are good for me and some days are bad. And I test well on some days and some days I don't. Um, it just was curious to me how you would test, you know, seniors 55 and above with the formula that Stern set up. So, um, I just uh, was on the same page with him because in my own life, I know what it is to struggle, being resigned to different things that you have to be challenged with. For instance, being a female in a male dominated society, being a minority in predominantly white culture, uh, being older in a youthful environment. So really, I wouldn't want to have another label applied anyhow. But I did appreciate his studies on giftedness, and we do need to mark out those people because they're like national resources to solve huge problems that we could face at any time. And as a youngster, I was marked as the smartest girl in my elementary school in PS 155 back in New York. And I remember they gave me my first huge collegiate dictionary. And later on, after I went to high school, I was pulled out of the general population at Franklin Roosevelt High School in Brooklyn and put in what they quoted as college bound. But at that time, I couldn't I couldn't take advantage of all those opportunities that was afforded to me. There was a lot of chaos that I grew up in, with my mom being an alcoholic and things that I had no control over. But here I am today, 60, and I'm about to graduate next semester. So my question, based on Thurman's psychology, what do you think the world would be like if you had to be IQ tested before you can procreate or have a baby? Thank you for your time.